If you are ready to start a business in 2026, you are going to love today's video because I'm going to go over my picks, the businesses that I think would absolutely dominate and crush in this year, in this climate, with the whole AI automation thing that's going on, not to mention just everything. All right, there are three things that you need to consider when starting a business. Number one, are you solving a real problem? Number two, is it something that you can start part-time? And number three, is it hard or difficult to automate away? If it's not, guess what? Bad news. It's probably going to go away. I mean, when you think about, just the speed at which AI and just technology has been advancing is insane. And, there's some good things that come out of it. There's some benefits and opportunities that we're going to talk about in today's video, but there's some other opportunities in a world of AI and automation that I feel are really the low-hanging fruit that could really make an incredible business. The other thing that I just want you to know is that money doesn't care. It doesn't care how you make it as long as you make it. It doesn't matter if you're washing somebody's window and you make $1,000 a week. It doesn't matter. Even though that's not as sexy as starting an online business or a brand or starting a community, it's not as sexy. But does it matter? The answer is no. It really boils down to what you're interested in and can you make money at it. And like we talked about last week, the most important thing that you got to figure out is marketing. How are you going to get your business, your service, the thing that you are selling in front of the people that have the money to buy it in a manner that is cost effective so that you actually make money? Because if you don't make money, the business, it doesn't work. Let me clarify that. If you're not making a profit, the business doesn't work, which is something that a lot of entrepreneurs find out the hard way. They think, oh, I want to be the low-cost provider. You're giving away all your margin, and they start selling, and they're like, why am I not having money to pay the rent or the electricity? It's because you gave it all away. You don't have money for advertising. Do not fall into the trap that so many people do when it comes to starting a business is, I want to be affordable for everybody. No, you don't. You want to attract the right person with the money and sell them as high or as expensive of a product as you can without being obnoxious. And even if you want to be obnoxious about it, I'm not mad at you, all right? There is something to be said for solving rich people's problems, all right? So the first thing I want to talk about, and the first business I always come back to, is a service-based business in your local area, all right? Number one thing, all right, that I think would crush it is a handyman service, all right? I know what I want. I know what I need. I know what my friends need. I see the posts on all of these communities, like Facebook communities from my area. Everybody needs a handyman. And so if you could come in and basically be the conduit, or you don't even need to know how to turn a wrench. Like if you are the person that is basically doing the marketing, doing the advertising, you go out, you find the handy men or women that can do the actual thing that you're selling, and you can crush it. But it's not just handyman service, right? A few things that I can think of off the top of my head. Pressure washing, all right? Huge opportunity. All right, a lot of pressure washers are kind of crackheads, right? You don't want them near your dogs, all right? And I'm not saying and being mad at you if you're a pressure washer. You get what I'm saying, all right? Pressure washers, window cleaners, all right? Lawn people that come and pick up shit around your house or blow leaves, all right? Or fix things. If you've got a leaky faucet or if you've got painting to be done, there's so many things that you could offer in terms of a service that revolve around the home or the house. And the easiest way to market it is A, get yard signs. I think yard signs are one of the most overlooked opportunities in terms of really testing your idea and getting real customers that can actually afford. Where are you going to put the yard signs? And a yard sign is basically the sign that you stick in the yard, all right, with whatever you want to do. Handyman service or window cleaning or pressure washing. Even if you want to go like niche down into one of these specific areas, even like mobile detailing, I think is a huge opportunity. Whatever you can do to basically make it easy for somebody that's got money to not do the thing that kind of sucks. All right, because rich people or people with money, they don't even have to be rich. All right, you don't want to service or advertise the poor people or broke people. They're not using this. But you know where the wealthy people in your area live, right? You drive past the neighborhoods or go on to Zillow, see where there are expensive houses. Typically, when you find an area that has like an expensive home, there are going to be other expensive homes around there. And so on Friday, what I'd do is take my yard signs and I'd stick them in front of the neighborhoods of these expensive houses for whatever I'm doing. You have a website that basically is going to direct people to send you an email or to reach out to get a quote. You go, you quote it, but before you do, you basically will find somebody that can do the work, right? And that's one of the things. A lot of these trades or people that can actually do the work, they are willing to basically do a side gig. And so the beautiful thing with somebody that's willing to do a side gig is that they give you a price. Say it's like, okay, Jimmy, how much will you charge me to wash my windows? $100. Great. Then you go to the person and be like, oh, it's going to be $130, right? They make $100, you make $30 for literally making that connection, doing the marketing, doing the advertising. There is so many situations and scenarios that I can think about that this would absolutely crush it. Actually, I want to show you something. Yesterday, I had my wood door on my office refinished. All right, look at that. It's pretty, right? Guess how much that cost me to do or have it done. He's also going to do this one because I own this building as well. He's going to do that one. It's a community. There are other people that need their doors done. That door right there, $1,500. Cost me $1,500. He was here all day. He sanded it. He took it down. He stained it. He lacquered it or whatever it is. $1,500. Done. I don't know how much the owner of the company paid the guy that was actually doing the work, but I'm assuming like for $1,500, think about that. You pay the dude $500 to sand and do the thing, right? And the owner's keeping $1,000. And then you've got all these other doors in this neighborhood. I'm just telling you, gentlemen, I'm trying to lead a horse to dinero. There's so many different things and services that you can do that people would pay for. People need help. And if you can solve the problem or save them time, this is something that would absolutely crush. Now, something else like higher level is basically being like a fixer for some high net individual. All right, and this is a crazy idea that I had, but then I started talking to some people in my white label community and found out that there was a guy that one of the members actually knew that made like $5 million a year doing this service. Basically, he would go to these high net worth individuals or these areas like people that had like multi-million dollar homes. And he said, hey, this is what I do. I basically can handle anything for you with your home or your property. All you got to do is give me a call and I'm going to make it happen. He's basically like a liaison who is kind of not like a house manager, but this is what he does. He's a fixer. And he goes to somebody who's got a lot of money. The people that have money, they don't have time. They don't want to deal with letting somebody in to fix their stair or their steps or their railing. They don't want to have to deal with that. They're busy making money, but they're going to pay, or they will pay you to basically be that person for them. This guy that I know, he literally is making $5 million a year. He had like 10 different homes that he was basically doing this for, and he was basically like on speed dial for them. Like, oh, you need something? Boom. And he would get clients. And the other cool thing is that rich people have friends, and they're going to refer you to other people if you ask, which is something I want you to start doing, asking, right? The best business is a referral. If you can do a business or service for somebody, whether or not you're selling something online or you're selling something to them brick and mortar, like whatever it is, you've got to get in the habit of asking for referrals or, basically a recommendation, right? Because if you can find or dial in that messaging with a satisfied customer, they're going to give you like 3 other people. And it's this spider web effect that ends up happening. But I'm telling you, I love the service-based business so much. Another example, all right, plumbing. Now, granted, if you want to be a plumber, you've got to go to school, but you could still sell plumbing if you're the one collecting the leads and basically advertising. Like you could set up like a plumbing website, right? Hey, you got problems with plumbing? If you're good with like Google advertising or whatever, they contact you. You say, hey, yeah, I'll send somebody out. You send, a plumber out. Anyway, I was having water pressure issues. And so a plumber came out. I called him. They came out. And he's like, oh, it's going to be, $1,200 to fix this like valve. I said, well, I did a little AI search, right? I searched it on ChatGPT how much it should cost. And it said $300 to like $700. And so I said to him, I go, $1,200? ChatGPT said it was going to be between 3 and 7. And he goes, well, ChatGPT isn't a plumber and they're not standing in your kitchen, but I am. Do you want to do it or not? I'll give you a deal, but I can't go down to 700. And so it was another great example that highlighted if you need something done, technology typically isn't going to be able to do it. And this is why service-based businesses are so incredibly valuable. Number 2 is paid communities and masterminds. Woo, baby. I'm telling you, I truly feel like community is going to be like the thing. All right, technology can't replace it. All right, we don't want to have like AI friends, but people are lonely. All right, if you can basically cultivate a community, you're going to be amazed at how much you can actually charge and people will pay in order to be a part of that. Now, typically the community is going to have a focus, right, or a niche. But just to give you an example, I started my white label Empire community. I charged like $400. All right, I got like 1,000 members in the first year. That's like $400,000 for people wanting to become a part of this community and learn something that I knew about. And so it's just a great example. Now, there are other communities, right? If you go on the platform School, there are tons of communities that are low friction points of entry that might start as free communities where you're giving it away, but then you basically will stair step them up to a paid option. They get more, they do more, you're going to be a part of them or their experience more, whatever it is. But I truly feel like communities are an opportunity. Which brings me to the next opportunity, and that is build a personal brand around what you know or what you're good at. I'm going to give you an example. All right, a woman I know who actually bought my house, my old house, she, during the shutdown, started basically doing watercolor in her home. It was a stress reliever. She enjoyed it. And she got kind of good at it. Not like Bob Ross awesome, right? He wasn't a watercolor painter, but you get what I'm saying. And so what did she do? She's like, I'm going to start basically putting it out there. So she started just filming herself, doing whatever, teaching people what she learned through the process of doing watercolor. And it was amazing what happened. So she starts like just doing her thing, showing people, right? People start seeing it and are like, oh, that's awesome. And so they start following her, right? She wasn't trying to sell anything at the time. But then over the years, of course, she's like, you know what? How can I monetize this bad boy? And so she did. She created her own line of basically tools, right? Brushes and pads and watercolors and stuff like that, right? She went and found a manufacturer that would white label it. She didn't actually like make them herself, white labeling, which we'll talk about in a second. And she put her branding on it and she sold it to her audience. And guess what? It went crazy. It went like bonkers. All right. But then she's like, hey, there are people that want more tutorials, more information. And so she started a community, a paid community. All I got to say is killing it, right? And it's just an example of if you build your brand, you get the following, you figure out how to monetize it, it's amazing what can actually happen. Which brings me to the next thing, and that is a brand built around personality. Let me see if I can explain this. All right, so gone are the days, like I talked about in the last video, about the brands or the businesses I wouldn't start. Gone are the days of just going to China, finding a product, going to Amazon, putting it on, the whole drop shipping thing. Like, it doesn't work anymore. What 2025 really could be boiled down to, in a word, is brand. Brand means it's got a personality. Brand means it's got that je ne sais quoi. That's something special that the other people that are selling competing products or a product that's similar to yours doesn't have, right? If you build a brand, you can monetize the fuck out of it, all right? Pete and Pedro, build a brand. T. Janley, build a brand, all right? Pete and Pedro started as a private label product, right? I found a lab. I had them basically send me all their examples or samples. I went to a bunch of labs. I picked the one that I loved the most, and then I had my label put on it. All right, when I started Pete and Pedro, I started that business for $3,000. This year is going to be the year I do 10 million. Last year I fell short. We basically broke even from the year before, and I did like 8.7 million. This year, I'm breaking 10. How am I doing it? I'm doubling down on content. I'm doubling down on marketing. I'm doubling down on the thing that basically helped us become an $8 million company, which was brand, all right? People want to do business with companies or buy products from companies that they feel are like them or that they resonate with. All right, we're not the most polished brand in the world, right? We're not like posting just pictures of like super amazing like studs, like Forte series, Alex Costa's brand. Like everything there is like super polished and all that good stuff. Fine. That doesn't work. I mean, there's a market because he has a big audience and all that because he built a brand. But in terms of taking it next level, you got to double down on brand, right? You've got to make sure you focus on making it cool. If somebody goes to your website and it doesn't have testimonials, if it doesn't have reviews, people aren't going to buy. If you are not doing the things that you need to do, posting on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, right? You're not going to sell anything. You've got to build a brand. Brand is everything, and it's going to continue to be everything. But the beautiful thing is that people that build brand, you can win. In a world of all these big guys have like gazillions of dollars to spend on like ads, you can win. It's never been a better time to start a brand, but I'd recommend getting comfortable getting in front of this, which is a camera, because unfortunately, I feel like that is the barrier to entry in today's world. Now, sure, you can create a product, you can have other people advertise it, but the truth is, paying for influencers is really expensive, and they're not as effective as they used to be. They also think they're worth more than they are. But there are platforms now like Amazon, like TikTok, that people are crushing it, that you've never heard of, right? TikTok specifically, all right? Building out your platform, building out your page, having other creators, these micro influencers or these shop creators doing basically videos for you, and it doesn't cost you anything other than sending them a free product. Like it is still, I feel like, one of the biggest opportunities out there, and that is selling shit on TikTok. I didn't always believe that. Back in the start of 2025, I wasn't on TikTok. I'm like, nope, I'm going to stick to Amazon. I'm going to stick to Facebook advertising. I'm going to stick to these things that were more comfortable in my wheelhouse. But once I finally saw like the opportunity, I'm like, all right, we got to go. We got to go now, because it's still early enough in the game, and a lot of these big brands still haven't really doubled down or figured it out because they don't understand it. But if you start to learn TikTok and the advertising and how it works and the ecosystem, you can absolutely crush it and dominate. Digital products, all right? There's something that you know how to do, and you're going to create an e-product. Now, the truth is, some of these things that I've been talking about, they don't work in like a vacuum. Like you can't just like create an e-product and like be like, all right, like it's going to sell. No, you need to do some of the other things, which is build your brand, build your awareness, get people to, engage with you, right? And in my opinion, that needs to come first before you actually create the e-product. But there are kind of workarounds. But in my opinion, e-products are still a huge opportunity. If you know something or can do something or can teach somebody how to do something that can get them laid, make them more money, those two things, like you're going to crush it, right? Those two things honestly are something that will never go out of style, and AI is not going to basically, it's not going to take your job. All right? Looking better, feeling better. Fitness, I think, is another one that is a huge opportunity, right? People are still, looking for ways to get in better shape, and they're looking for somebody that they feel has the secret. There is no secret, obviously, like calories in, calories out, move your ass. That's kind of the secret. But if you can package it in a way that's a little bit different or unique or in your voice, that's the thing. It's in your voice, right? But before you create your e-product on how to lose 27 pounds in 2027 or whatever it is, You need to build that trust. You need to build that authenticity. You need to have people find your content on social media or on the videos that you're making, and you need to get them to trust you. And once you do, and once they feel like you are the expert, because that's the other thing that separates, I feel like, e-products and experts in 2026 that didn't need to happen in 2020, like 2, 3, 4, and that is credibility. If you don't have the receipts, people aren't buying. A lot of people made some money buying somebody else's course or just learning how to do marketing really well, but they actually didn't know how to do the thing, or they don't have the experience or the track record doing the thing that you need to do, or that they're selling. And those things, I don't feel like in today's world in 2026, you really do need to have a track record and authenticity and credibility to really win at that game. But e-products, low barrier to entry. Anybody can make one. Low cost. It's basically your time. And then it's about marketing and it's about building your brand. But the beautiful thing is that anybody can do it. If you've got a phone, you can do it. It's free to upload images or videos to these different social media platforms. Little trick that I'm going to give you or share with you. A little exercise that I would just like to recommend you. If you're somebody that is not comfortable getting in front of camera, you're just like, I'm not sure, right? Here's a little challenge. For the next 30 days, what I want you to do is start filming yourself for a minute, talking about whatever. What's up, guys? It's Aaron here. It's a Wednesday. I'm going to go hit legs after I film this vlog. I really don't want to do legs. They kind of suck, but I'm going to go hit crunch. And it's crowded because it's January 7th. And like, just film yourself, right? And put it away. You don't even need to share it with anybody, but just get into the practice of working that muscle. It's a muscle that you work, right? And getting in front of a camera, delivering a message, it's something that you can get better at, all right? I sucked when I started. I still kind of suck, but it's gotten a lot easier. And the other thing, in today's world, perfection, it doesn't matter. It's actually better if it's not perfect, all right? Gone are the days that you need to have a highly produced, highly polished, like YouTube channel and videos. No, now people just want real. And that's the beautiful thing and the thing that sets you apart from AI or anything else, which brings me to the next thing. I think a YouTube channel. If there's something you want to talk about, do it. Like, don't wait, do it. Post your video. All right? The algorithm, it'll do its magic. People that need to find your stuff will find it. All right? And YouTube will open you up to so many other opportunities and options. It's unbelievable. You don't even need to know like what your monetization strategy is now. Just start making content. People are thirsty for authenticity and you. There's nobody else that can do you. So do you, and everything else will take care of itself as long as you keep posting you. And last but certainly not least is AI automation, helping brands utilize technology. If you're a tech dude and you understand like AI, get a little bit more knowledge, right? There are classes you can take, right? You can probably chat GPT like, hey, if I want to help a brand integrate AI, what should I do? How should I do it? What are the low-hanging fruit, right? You just need to know more than them. You don't need to be like some like cutting-edge tech like guru. No more than them. But the truth is, you going to local businesses and helping them automate certain things or help them leverage or utilize technology, I still feel like is a huge freaking opportunity. I'm also going to throw in there another bonus, which is a social media brand manager. All right. A lot of people that have brick and mortar businesses, they are not good at creating content. They don't want to create content. But if you come in and you say, okay, I'm going to create the content, I'm going to post it for you, I'm going to help you basically build your channel. This is, again, something that is, I think, a huge opportunity because every brand and business knows they need it more now than ever before, but they don't want to do it. There's other things they need to do. They're going to spend their money, their time doing other things that are going to help basically sell more stuff. But if you go in and say, hey, I'm going to basically be your guy, it's going to be $2,000 a month. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to post one time a month. I'm going to come into your store. I'm going to take videos. I'm going to do all the things that you need to do. I'm going to post every day, 30 days. It's $3,000 or whatever it is, $2,000, $1,000, whatever, right? Then you get 10 businesses in your local area. Boom, that's a $30,000 business literally like almost overnight. Now, sure, you need to do the work, you need to schedule it, but there's technology that can help you do all these things. Gentlemen, that's it. That's what I got. These are the businesses that I am super passionate and excited about. And if you are somebody that is ready to be an entrepreneur, I would definitely start poking and looking at these options, because I feel like they are the winners in a world of automation and technology. And now let's get to your business questions. If you try that again. If you have a business question, down below, start it with question or business question and ask it. Each week at the end of these, I like to get to the questions that you had from the previous week. And so on last week's episode, where I talked about the businesses that I would not, under any circumstances, start, let's see if there were any business questions. Wow, no. Okay, here we go. I am Spotlight 845. If you had the chance to talk to your younger self, what advice would you give yourself? I would say it's going to be all right. All right, younger self. At what age younger? Like little dude, like in a bad environment, like home life, like with abusive stepfathers. I'd be like, it's going to be okay. Go to the gym, work out. You're going to be fine. If it was struggling, bankrupt me, it would say, or I would tell myself, don't worry, it's going to be all right. Stop drinking so much. Stop abusing yourself. Get focused. I would also tell myself to learn technology. Don't be scared of things that you don't know. And that's one of the biggest regrets that I have, is that I am somebody that does not like technology. I don't like it. I'm like, no, I want to use the same like BlackBerry phone that I had when I don't like technology. But I know how beneficial it is, and I would go back and say, yo, learn that stuff. I would also say start investing. Learn about money, because I didn't know about money. And don't get that high interest credit card that they're offering you when you're 18 years old when you go to college. Stupid. That's what I tell myself. Question from RRR2550. What did you get from their domain Enemy? I sold my domain enemy.com. I'll tell you about that next week. That's a good question. I forgot to talk about that. Next question. Sorry, you gotta wait. How much do you think I got for it? Anyway, the next question comes from our friend, and for the record, I paid like $45,000 for it. Just so you know, this was years ago. I was going all in on Enemy. I'm like, I'm doing it. It's going to be a thing. And enemy.com was such a great URL. I'm like, if I don't buy it, I'm going to regret it. Anyway, question. Is it better to have the product when you try to sell it, or is it better to have the product in storage when you try to sell it? Hang on. There's more to this. I'm working on starting a vending machine side hustle, and I'm trying to determine which option would be better, since it would cost a fair amount of money to store a machine, but I'm also figuring there's something, once a machine in place, should be able to get it as soon as possible. So, I don't know. I would say, so basically the question is it better to basically buy a few vending machines and have them like stored and then try and sell them, or get them placed, or try and get them placed and then sell? I would say try and get them placed and then buy one. You just need to figure out like what the lead time is. And so people will wait. Like if they haven't had a vending machine and all of a sudden you're like, hey, would you like a vending machine? We can get you one. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a month to get it, but they're going to be like, yeah, sure. They're not going to be like, oh, he can't give it to me now. I'm going to go get another vending machine. So I would say get the contract and then get the machine, in my opinion. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Yeah, don't. You can't risk it. Don't risk it. Don't risk it. There's no reason to risk it. You don't need to risk it. Next question comes from our friend, Taste the Rainbow 459. What about taxes you collect from customers, such as state taxes or the W-2 taxes from employees? Are you supposed to have bank accounts for these? Do you hold on to them until the end of the year? So one of the frustrating things, not frustrating, it's just the part of doing business when it comes to taxes. We talked a little bit last week about taxes in terms of how it works. Every single month, I basically have my accountant go in and pay all the different states, all the sales tax that is collected for that specific state. Shopify makes it easy to basically collect it and keep it, kind of, you can sort it. But no, that's something that you pay on a monthly basis in terms of sales tax. It's not that big of a deal, and it becomes a bigger deal when you start selling more and you start selling over the threshold in all of the states, right? When you first start, don't worry about it. You're not going to have to basically pay sales tax, I don't think, until you reach a certain dollar amount in a specific state. So as you become more successful, then it becomes a bigger thing, but just start selling and double check me on that. All right. Google search, ChatGPT, whatever. But yeah, my accountant does that. He doesn't hold it to the end of the year. And that is, and somebody says, this is a funny question. Somebody on the last vlog, I said, the fundamentals still work. I'm talking about not being a crypto bro. And like, if you don't know and whatever, like, the fundamentals still work. I made reference to the Vanguard S&P 500 fund. And so one of the comments on the last vlog is, I'm a crypto bro, Aaron, and I definitely have more money than you. Crypto is where the money can be made. Just don't buy stupid meme coins. I said, not sure how you know how much money I have, but rock on. This comment made me go, huh? Like, how do you know? I actually think he's lying. I think he doesn't have any money. I think he might have a little bit of crypto somewhere. He didn't respond after I said that comment because he doesn't know how much money I have. He doesn't know how successful I've been. He doesn't know my net worth. He has no idea. Like, so how can he even make that judgment? Even if he has like millions of dollars in crypto, how does he automatically know that he's got way more money than me? How does he know? I think he's lying. I think he's excited about crypto. I think he's heard about people making a lot in crypto. I know. He's got EFTs that went to zero. That was a whole thing, right? I'm just saying the fundamentals still work. Be smart, invest your money, invest in yourself, and you too can be successful. You also need to work your ass off, but there is that. Anyway, guys, you rock. Love you. Comment down below if you've got a business question down below. Start it with business question and ask it.